So this is a DAQ970A multiplexer card set up, ready to take measurements from my amplifier board. On this side down here I've got the thermocouples. These are J-type thermocouples. It's actually the American colour coding system, ASTM standard, I believe, as opposed to the IC standard that I would be more used to in this country. And what I've done is just verified them with numbers to match the channel number in here, so I know which one's which. And down this side I've set up some 3 channels at the top here. I'm going to be measuring voltage. The top 2, well, top one will be the input, then the output, and then this channel here I will use for the current via a current clamp, it says, which is over there, so I'll use that current clamp to measure the current when I go above the 1 amp setting. And then the 2 channels below that, wired up in this coax cable here, that's for monitoring the voltage supply rails to the amplifier. Over this side, if you can just about see it, over there, that's the current channel that I will also utilise to measure the output current. That can only go up to 1 amp though, so there'll be a limitation if I go over that, and I have to switch over to using the clamp. And then these are just, I slide him all out of the way, or even if I actually zoom out, that's a bit better, isn't it? And then you can see the wires just come out down through this. So in actual fact, the current channel is wired in 17 gauge wire, which is just over 1mm squared. That is the absolute max that these terminals can take. I can't get a ferrule on the end of those 2. These channels here for the voltage I've wired in 22 gauge, which is 0.6mm squared, and therefore I can get a ferrule on the end. And that goes in dead easy. What I might also have to do, depending on how I'm able to set this up, I want to measure the input voltage and the frequency, but I don't know if I can do that on the 1 channel. If I can't, I might have to take over both the input and output over to a couple of spare channels so that I can measure the voltage on 1 channel and the frequency on the other, as opposed to switching a parameter between the channels. And then everything feeds down here. You can, if you want to, put a tie up through here, because I'm changing the configuration continually. I've not done that yet. And then the lid goes on, hopefully. Or not, as the case may be. Ooh, there we go. Oh, got wire trapped. There we go. And the lid's just secured via a little latch just in here, a little plastic latch that you push over in order to get the lid off. So that's the card wired up. So this is my test setup that I've got going on at the moment. I've got the amplifier board over here, just with the amplifier with the polymer capacitors installed that I'm going to test to start with. I've got the input being delivered by the waveform generator, currently set to 1.55 volts peak to peak and 50 Hertz, and that's what will give me a 1 amp output through the 1 ohm resistor. And then the DAQ will need to be set up ready to scan every 30 seconds. See if I can set up and zoom in on the actual amplifier board so you can see the setup. I'll put the little blue man back because he's fallen over. Oh, that's not too bad, I guess, is it? So there's the current clamp just there for channel 8. That just reads through the actual, if we zoom out, it's the output of the amplifier coming out here, just reads through. Red wire goes into the current channel on the DAQ, and then comes out and through the load resistor and back in. I'm also monitoring the voltage of the output going into one of the other channels, a supply line monitoring, and this is the input monitoring. If we move around a little bit, yeah, so the input is just coming in. Actually, on this lead, I'll then split it to go off to the DAQ and into the actual amplifier input itself, and then moving back up. So the, can't tell too much, I'll probably take some pickies. The thermocouples here are just taped on with Kapton tape, one onto the heatsink, one onto the aluminium block between the heatsink and the amplifier, and the other one onto the amplifier, and the last two actually on the two capacitors that you can't see very well unless I try and do that. Now you can just about see them there, hopefully.